What's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. Something special for you today. We got Tobias from Hellbound Game. This is a epic 90s, what did you guys call it? A 90s shooter now.
Yeah.
So all about it. I love retro shooters. I'm original Duke Nukem fanboy, Shadow Warrior, all that stuff. So didn't really take much to get me on board for this. You know what I mean? I was tapped in when you guys started dropping the trailers and stuff like that. So yeah. Tobias, welcome to the channel. Let them know from what Saibot Studios is the company.
Yeah. How's it going, guys? Here from Argentina, and yeah, glad to be here with you.
Yeah, this game is awesome, man. First and foremost, as a thank you for you coming on, I'm definitely going to get a review for this game up on my channel. I've been meaning to do that for a while. I did watch some of the other reviews, and I was surprised at the things that people were overly nitpicking about, like the soundtrack and stuff like that. I was just like, dude, when I was playing this game, I barely noticed some of that stuff because it was so high octane action that, you don't really have the time to go oh, I don't like this and I don't like that. I was in there trying to survive, man. You know what I mean? The rest of us were. So, yeah, this is a great game. If you want to give maybe a little background on the company, or is this you guys' first game? You can
Sure. So yeah, with Hellbound, we have been working since 2016, right? Mm-hmm. It's actually a game I personally want to make since was a kid. I mean, from the 90s. I don't know what's the follower base here, or even your age, but I'm 33, and when I was a kid, Doom, Quake, Duke Nukem, those games were the best, and when I started making games because of them, and I started working in the game industry in 2006, 2007, and I wanted to do that, to make that game for a long time. But with Saibot Studios, we actually started in 2012. And we first created a horror saga, which is called Doorways. I don't know if you guys know it. It's more like Amnesia or Outlast, those kind of games, which is more focused on the narrative, on the horror atmosphere. But then with some experience, we wrote the team and we get some funds, and we were able to make this game, this first-person shooter, which the intention was to take the 90s, the retro style in gameplay, right? But to make use of all the current technology. I mean, you can see there are a bunch of FPS, retro FPS now, I don't know, Dusk, Evil, which are great games. But at the same time, they use the retro visuals and audio. Our idea was to take the gameplay from the past, but also get advantage from the technology of current days. So that was the plan, right? So in 2018 we launched the survival mode, which is a free version. You can play it right now from Steam. But our idea was to create the campaign, and for that we had to do this survival mode, and we did a Kickstarter. We got the publisher to invest in the game, and the past year, to 2020, which was a chaotic year for everyone, right? With all the pandemic and stuff, we launched the game. It was at the last month. It was a pretty rushed because we have a lot of troubles with development, with money, but we were able to finish something and publish it on Steam. So we keep updating the game, adding content, fixing bugs, and a lot of stuff. But I mean, the final result is a pretty short game. It's one single episode, but which was actually the main critic, negative critic is that it's a pretty short game. You can finish it in 2 or 3 hours. But in that chapter, we put everything. It has the best we can do, or at least here from Argentina in our conditions, right? So I don't know. I invite you guys to check it out. Not only the survival mode is free, but also you can play a single level from the campaign. It's like a demo. So you can give it a try without even putting your credit card, right? So yeah, we are satisfied with the results. the only negative part of this project, in fact, is we didn't see a single sale from this because the investor didn't recoup the investment, right? The money they put, unfortunately, yet. So we didn't see any sales. That's the worst part from the scenario. But at least we have a game. It is there. It's a good portfolio for us for future projects. But hopefully things get better in terms of sales. So, but that is the current situation, right?
Yeah. I mean, I like the game a lot. Like we said, it's not the longest game in the world, but I think I've almost played all of these, new school retro style shit. I don't even know if there's a name for this genre yet, but I guess you guys are all creating it together. And I'm a big fan of these. I mean, like I said, even the couple Shadow Warrior remakes were awesome. The only thing that really didn't quite live up was like Duke Nukem Forever, and that was mostly because it was just stuck for like 15 years and then it just got released anyway. But those are all the side. I did have a bunch of questions. I think you answered most of them just as far as the Hellbound origin and influences. Did you guys have anything else other than like Doom, Duke Nukem, or Wolfenstein? Did you guys play Unreal? Was it all of them?
Yeah. Unreal as well. Also, Serious Sam. Serious Sam is not from the 90s actually, but it's late. It's like early 20s, right? And that was a great game. What I love about it is that this thing about a bunch of guys coming from the big distance. That was something great, and we tried that in Hellbound. We don't have that performance, but we did actually add it. And actually we have some Easter eggs from Serious Sam, some quotes that the player said. So there's a lot of like references to the classics, and Serious Sam is one of them, and it's one like I personally love because it's not a game like Doom or Quake in the past where they were like the biggest guys, no, right? Serious Sam was more like an indie thing, but and came out when the new era of FPS started to show up, right? More like Battlefield, Call of Duty. So Serious Sam was like, I mean, the Crow team was like some guys doing what they wanted, and I mean, bringing that technology to bring a lot of enemies on screen. So I assume that game should be part of that of that Hall of Fame, like retro FPS.
I agree. I love, shout out to Crow Team. I love Serious Sam. I got Serious Sam 4, well, I'd say recently, but when it came out, because I think I got it like the first day, it downloaded right away. I'm a huge Serious Sam fanboy. Serious Sam 4 is awesome. That's another game similar to Hellbound where these games come out and I look at some of the reviews and the fans are like nitpicking this stuff that like I didn't even like notice when I was playing it. I was like, dude, every single thing about Serious Sam is awesome, from that guy that does the score, those like kind of orchestral symphonic soundtrack and the heavy metal soundtracks they do, much like you guys. Ridiculous. I love Serious Sam 4 as well as like Shadow Warrior 2. Like both of those games are probably my favorite game. I mean, I know that's like kind of newer stuff, but we were talking about kind of the original stuff. But don't get it twisted, guys. I'm probably one of the biggest Duke Nukem fanboys of all time. The updates you guys put in, you mentioned you guys have been doing the bug fix patches and stuff like that. Has pretty awesome. It was interesting for me because I think I played through on, normal, when I know you guys called the difficulties different names, and then I played through on hard, and as my playthrough on hard, you guys patched it and you added those flying demons. That was way harder, man. You guys have added a lot of stuff to add the challenge, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. I got through it, but you guys kicked my ass in there, man.
What we think about is that if it is a short game, at least it's pretty difficult. It's pretty hard. And we had the difficulties. It's like noob, normal, old school, and Hellmar. Yes. That's part of the funny, right? But we added like a new game, a new monster, which is the Pygon, which is some like the Kako demon from the original Doom, but this one teleports and do other stuff. And then we also did a remaster version from the survival mode. So in December of 2020, we did that big update, and that was like the last thing we did with the team, right? Because we ran out of money. In fact, we actually promoted like that. I don't know if you guys saw the video, the promotional video, and we promoted like the video ends saying like, we ran out of money making this game. Just have fun, something like that. So, like this is everything we can give you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. I love it. Yeah, like I said, actually, I do have some of the footage on my Twitch, twitch.tv/PlanetXGames, and I'm gonna try to take some of those highlights and put them in my review. But yeah, it's a awesome game. I will say, if you are not an original 90s shooter head like me and Tobias, you didn't play the Dooms and the Unreals and the Wolfenstein, if it's like your first shooter, you probably will have a little difficulty in there. You might want to start with something else just to get your motion down and your aiming down, because they don't go easy on this one. They don't.
And that's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing that we also, I think we like. We fail in terms of commercial view. I mean, the entire thing of creating Hellbound was like bringing the old school style, right? And you remember in those days, like there were no like tutorials or things to explain you and stopping the game. I freaking fucking hate that. So walkthroughs. So what I wanted is like start a game and you are playing, you are killing demons right away.
Go right.
So maybe that's fun for us, right? For the ones who like that. But for new players, maybe that's not cool enough. I mean, it's like it's not so well. So I think we were like we were not thinking enough in a commercial way. So I think that could also affect the critics and the final result in sales. But I don't know. I mean, I don't think that it's bad to have tutorials and stuff, but if we added that, it would be like a great point where, well, is it like a retro shooter or is it more like new FPS? So I mean, taking into consideration more recent games, like but AAA games like the new Doom Eternal. I played the Doom 2016, sorry, and the Doom Eternal. I still need to play the DLCs, right? But I think both are great games. But I really hated like those. You start playing and right away they teleported to another room where you explain how to jump to make the glory kills, and I hate that because I was so immersed in those wonderful worlds that these guys create that it was like they bring me out of the place. So I don't like that. I don't like to someone telling me how to do the things. Let me learn them. Let me dead in the game and respawn and keep playing and then learning that way. So that's also how one of the things we want to with Hellbound. That you will learn, but you will receive a lot of damage. You will die, but you will keep going and you will finish the game eventually. So that was our approach. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. No, I mean, you guys definitely made it for the hardcore retro fan base. You know what I mean? Which is cool. That's what I like about it. Again, like I said, if you've played those games, you can jump in here and be like, okay, it's hard, but as you said, you could fight through it and warm up and all that stuff. And then, honestly, I think some of these new games, the new gamers are a little bit too babied. I don't really want to. Every time I pick up a new weapon, like you said, I don't want it to go to a tutorial screen that's gonna, single shot, right click mouse is the alternate shot. It's like
you will figure out things out,
pretty fast. You know what I mean? A couple other games, not to get off track, that I want to shout out real quick too is just like the Wolfenstein Youngblood game. It was the first co-op Wolfenstein, and again, people were being overly critical of that, and I was playing it with one of my friends. I was like, same thing. I was like, I think this game is awesome. You know what I mean? So it's like it's kind of weird the way I don't know if it's just the new fans, like maybe my opinion is just too adjusted to the original.
I don't know if the new fans, but maybe it's the thing right now in general. It's like there are a bunch of games, like the industry is growing constantly, so the player also has a lot of power in the review, so they are pretty critic. So it's pretty tough to bring out a game today. Also, it's pretty difficult to get distinction or get the exposure in the stores. But and if you can't do that, the base, the player base is pretty critic. So you need to be sure that what are you delivering is like is good in all the ways as possible, right? It's pretty tough, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think it's even more for AAA games, because when you bring out an indie stuff that like maybe they have some consideration, but even it looks more like a AAA game, which I think it was our idea. The Hellbound doesn't look like a AAA game, but we try to go that way, and I think that really put you in a situation like you are getting all the critics, because people are watching the videos, are seeing the screenshot, and they say, oh, all right, this game like must be like 10 hours, 20 hours of games, and should have a multiplayer, should have I don't know. I can. It's tough. It's tough. Yeah. But I think it's right now in general. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big challenge, but honestly, I was, and like we said, the game is short, as you addressed, but that's fine for me. Me personally, I mean, I was only playing like, a map at a time, just banging out one map and then, go chilling, doing something else, save it, and then I come back to Hellbound later. But I mean, everything from the weapons, the end boss. I mean, you guys have got, there's some tough fights in there, man. Especially the lava hops. I mean, you guys have got everything. Definitely Doom-esque hellscape maps. I mean, me personally, I thought the main character's personality and his voice, like they were being critical about that. Like, oh, he just has the cheap one-liners. I'm like, dude, that's the 90s. Like, maybe you guys weren't there, but that is the 90s, and it's freaking fresh. You know what I mean? And the music as well. Like my friend Gaz and I, who does the channel with me, we play Killing Floor, that has a metal soundtrack as well. Like, metal is perfect for a shooter, man. Like, you can't. It almost doesn't get any better than that. As far as, just what's going on with the game, did you guys have any more plans for, additional episodes? Or I'm sure you're still working on the updates.
Yeah, the thing is that we didn't have any sales, and it's like we don't have more money. Right. I mean, we did a Kickstarter in 2018 when we released the survival mode. We get money there, we get funds. But at the same time, we put that to recover the survival mode, because making the survival mode already have us to put money. And then the publisher started putting money for the campaign. But the thing is that at the end of the day, when we released the final game, the sales weren't enough for the investor to recoup, and then so we can recoup. So right now it's like I'm working alone in Saibot right now, because I need to fix some stuff. I can do that, but to keep all the team pushing for the entire game, like adding new levels and stuff, right now is pretty impossible. So the only chance is like we have some luck and the game. I don't know. Maybe Epic Games polish out the games in their platform. I don't know. Maybe get some additional funds from other way. But right now it's like fixing some stuff I can do all my own.
Yeah. I mean, I gathered that you guys were a rather small team, just the way it was being promoted and stuff like that. So it's cool. So it is a little unrealistic to expect you guys to have this Activision, budget for a 90s retro shooter that you're building. But it is what it is. As far as Saibot, that being said, do you guys think you'd be interested in a sequel or other games that you guys would try to maybe go into down the line?
Yeah, right now I after finishing this, I recently finished with all the Kickstarter stuff. I don't know if you guys follow us there. I have been doing like the physical stuff, right? Sending all the boxes and the books and etc. So I finished that. We are also publishing a game created by other guy, which is the Blackheart, which is a fighting game, also super retro style. And the idea is to start working on a new project, all as a solo developer right now. But I can't tell you nothing about it yet. So, but you will have news eventually. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll keep going. Yeah, we'll keep going. But yes, like testing other areas. I think like creating video games is something unique, super cool. So there are a lot of areas to go. So I am like satisfied now with all the FPS for at least for now. Yeah, because I think like Hellbound took us like 5-6 years, man. I am like here about FPS, and also the sales didn't get well, so there's no much motivation to do another FPS. Yeah,
for sure.
Right now, at least.
Yeah, it's cool. I would love to see you guys get a budget and all the momentum you need behind you to either do part 2 or another game. Talking some other current games, because one thing I really want to highlight on the channel are these new school, old school games. I guess we're gonna struggle to defend what they are until someone makes a subgenre for us. But we'll stick with 90s style retro shooters. I really like this game. I'm sure you guys have heard of it. Is the Iron Fury from 3D Realms, which is the new school game using the build engine.
That's great, and they are working on a new version, right? It's like
yes, a DLC. I think it's a expansion.
Yeah. Actually, Davox, but he's called Davox in the community. He's Leonardo Pellegrini, worked for with us in Hellbound. And he is level designer of Iron Fury. Yeah, it's a great game.
Awesome.
It really has like the Duke Nukem style, classic, but at the same time they bring all the textures, all the visuals to a new level. So it's like more upgraded like other retro new shooter style.
Yeah, I saw the promo for that, and I was just like, because literally me and my friends were still playing the build engine games up to a couple years ago, like Duke Nukem 3D. We still play it all the time. The Vietnam game, Nam, Shadow Warrior 1, like literally all those build engine games. Like me and my friends were like ridiculous fanboys. So I sent the trailer to my boys. Right, I was like, yeah, they're making a new one. Like we're back. The only thing that I would have liked to have seen in Iron Fury, as well as Hellbound, and this is like usually the only thing I ever say, because I play so many of these retro shooters with my friends, is co-op. You know what I mean? That's it. And I'm sure I know how difficult it is. I know why it's not in a lot of games. I know why it wasn't in Iron Fury. But that was, if we would have had that in Iron Fury, because I told my boys, I was like, yo, I got Hellbound. I was like, but it's single player, so you guys are just gonna have to watch me on Twitch.
Yeah. No, but I'm totally with you. In fact, it was in our plans to make it possible. Actually, with the people we work with, our publisher, which is called Nimble Giant, they have a lot of experience in like all the network things, right? We don't have that experience, so it was the idea, and all was programmed based on that. But at a certain point, we need to like let that go, because we want to finish the game, at least for single player. So, but it was the idea. I would really like to have that for Helen, or at least see in other retro style FPS. But yeah, that would be amazing. I mean, like more like COP classic, like the Doom, right? I mean, you start the game and you play all the game, or you just respawn. That's something that we really miss, and was something unique. I don't think that's right now happening in new games, right? The COP now is more linear, and it's more like script. So it would be great to have something like that in a retro style FPS.
Yeah, Duke Nukem 3D, like me and my boy Mac, who does some of the film reviews for us on this channel, like, dude, we've played that co-op on every platform. That we played it on original Xbox. We played it on, there's been like 3 or 4 versions on Steam, but I've had all of them. Like I think Mega, World Tour, Mega, whichever that they added stuff in World Tour, which was cool. One more real quick. I actually haven't played it yet myself, because I believe they were supposed to have co-op in it, but I think it's 3D Realms also, is the Wrath Aeon of Ruin. I think that's the Quake engine. So,
I watched it. I remember that they bring out a demo the same day we did in 2019, and then they released the early access the past year, right? So I didn't play it actually, but it looks awesome. I mean,
it looks awesome.
In the same way that the other one, like, is more like Hexen. Do you remember the name?
Yeah, Heretic and Hexen.
Yeah, but the new game, which is also
yes, I think I saw the trailer for that. Oh, and Graven? Is it Graven?
Graven, yeah. Graven, yeah. And this one is Wrath, yeah.
Yes, so I told you I'm a true fanboy.
Yeah. I see.
You can see now.
yeah, totally. Yeah. So Wrath is more like Quake, like original Quake, and this Wrath, this Graven is more like a Hexen or Heretic, with more like RPG stuff. But both look great. I mean, I think that's the perfect point in which they found that place in between, like super retro visuals, which is cool, but I don't prefer that today, right? Like 30 years later. But it is also not like a triple game. It's like 3D, but it's pretty polished. It's pretty visually attractive, right? So I think both games are looking great, and I didn't play it yet, but I think like the Grievance came out like a demo recently, or
I think it might be early
yeah.
access, like you were saying.
Yeah.
I think something just dropped. I've seen the tweets, but
Yeah. But it's
sorry
looking
guys,
great.
I'm not
Yeah.
fully up on. Looks
No,
good.
no,
Yeah, I really want to play Wrath of Aeon Wrath of Ruin or whatever it was called, because that one looked really cool when they were promoting it. But I was like, I kept going and checking to see like if they added the co-op yet on the Steam store.
No.
I'm like, I'm not getting this until I can play it with my friends. But yeah,
Okay.
those games look sick. I definitely want to get an Iron Fury review up here on the channel. That's pretty much all I have for you. We basically talked all those new retro shooters. I take when you were making Hellbound.
Oh,
So,
yeah, sure.
Can't go
Yeah,
go wrong
we
there.
listen a lot of metal, even when we work. So yeah, David Leville, who is the music composer, the producer, he's a beast. The guy knows a lot, and we listen to music like Rammstein, Slipknot, and all that craziness. So even for work or even without working, so the game really has that feeling, and we wanted that, like having the classic metal, but also with some electronic, with some more modern stuff, but to keep like kicking all the time. I mean, that was the idea. Maybe some people didn't like that, but I like that because it's like when you listen to the song and it repeats, and you know in which level are you playing? You know, remember like Doom or Duke Nukem in the early days, like they have a soundtrack for each level, and you know that soundtrack is for that level. So that was part of the idea, and not like having like scripted music, which you came to a place, start the music, then stop, then goes like ambient music. So we wanted more like a soundtrack for each level. And yeah, we had we also had like a DLC, which is like it's called Mayhem Pack, and it has like the digital artbook and also the soundtrack. So you want to check it out, and you can also listen in YouTube or Spotify. So check it out.
Yeah, that's awesome. I thought it was really good, man. I thought it matched perfectly. And like when I'm like, let me go watch some other people's reviews. And when they were like nitpicking it, I was like, okay, when I do my review, I'm gonna say it was awesome because I thought it was awesome. Like I was totally into the atmosphere. You know what I mean? That being said, I think that's pretty much all I have for you. Just obviously Hellbound Game on Steam. Let them know wherever they could support your stuff. And then your Saibot Studios on Instagram, Hellbound Game on Twitter. Any other websites or links to find you guys?
Yeah, Facebook, also Facebook. But yeah, you can follow us. Like if you search for Hellbound or for Saibot Studios, you will find us. Yeah.
Awesome, man. Nah, man, the game is great. I would, again, if you like anything that we just mentioned, which is any of the original 90s retro shooters, which, you know, if you're an FPS fan, you pretty much have to like them all. It's mandatory. Or any of those new school, old school retro games we mentioned. I think you guys should get this in your mix. Hopefully, you know, I can do my review and bring, you know, more of my viewers that information to how good Hellbound was. Again, it's not crazy long. I actually have to make my confession. I haven't got on survival mode yet, but I did play the campaign through a couple times, and you know it was epic for me. Again, you guys know what I play. I'm a retro, you know, Wolfenstein, Serious Sam, Duke Nukem, Shadow Warrior. Those are my big ones. So if I'm playing those and I'm playing Hellbound, you guys know that it fits in. So it's a great game. I'd like to see you guys definitely be able to do more. You know, like I said, I gathered you guys were a small studio out there in Argentina from the promo. So I think you did a great job. You know, that's just my personal opinion. So, and again, guys, like you said, it's not easy. You can go try to get your first game on Steam and get your first game published too. The fact that these guys even got all the way through, it's a difficult process. You know, it's like having any other creative, you know, project. It's just a video game and a first-person shooter, which I'm sure is more difficult than a lot of stuff. So we are going to get out of here. My final shout-out is going to be Streets of Rage 4. I do want to get a review on the channel up for that, too. If you guys ever do a fighting game, man, let me know, or any other SPSs, like that kind of side-scroller beat-em-up, because the beat-em-ups are coming back, man. There's Unending Dust, Streets of Rage 4.
It's something pretty similar to the FPS, right? It's like coming from the 90s. Yeah.
The reemergence.
I love that. I love the like Final Fight and all the stuff. Yeah.
Streets of Rage 4, and they're actually getting a DLC too. So shout out to Dotemu and Lizard Cube. I'm really waiting for that announcement soon because I want to play that. I'm getting super impatient. Oh, and they're also doing a sequel to basically looks like a sequel to Turtles in Time. It's Shredder's Revenge. They're doing their first Ninja Turtles beat 'em up as well. So that should be sick. Shout out to Dotemu and Lizard Cube. Definitely need to get those soon. Saibot Studios, however, is the story of the day. Hellbound Game. Make sure you guys get that on Steam. Is it also on GOG, or can they get it in other
right
places?
now only Steam, but eventually,
Steam. Okay.
yeah.
For sure. So get it on Steam right now, guys. It's fresh. If you're a noob, good luck in there.
You have a noob difficulty. So.
There you go. Covered. If you're a noob, they got you covered with the noob difficulty. So shout out to my man for Tobias. Appreciate you coming on. Hellbound Game. Check out Saibot Studios, guys. These guys rock. We are out. Thank you. Like, subscribe, share.